Drop and Jamie, just sort yourself out. I don't know what you really thought was going to happen. You were going to come into a panel full of women and we were going to clap and stroke your ego and all of that. Not going to happen, right? You might find some other mentally ill people on the app that might stroke your ego. It's not going to happen here. So sort it out, right? Thank you. Thank you for having me up, Christy.
My pleasure. See you shortly. Go ahead, Marty.
Jamie, so I heard you say earlier that you said you expected your wife to stay with you because you took vows of, in sickness and in health. But then in the same breath, you turned around and said that if she didn't accept what you were telling her, that she's now a lesbian because of how you feel on the inside and all this kind of stuff, that you would have left her to continue down this path. That's hypocrisy to me, along with the gaslighting and along with the harm that you are doing to the people around you. I understand what it is to have a serious mental health issue. I know what it is to have bipolar. I know what it is to have mania and severe depression and things like that. And you're sitting there tonight drinking alcohol, knowing that alcohol is a depressant and it's one of the worst things someone with bipolar can actually do is drink. And you're sitting there drinking because why? You can't face your own emotions? I lost a brother to a drunk driver when he was 14 years old. I made the phone calls. I planned his funeral. I went to the church and made the announcement. I was 17. Do you think that was easy to get through? Do you think that was easy to, watch what my parents went through? You talk about losing a child. Your child is still here, above ground, breathing and living. And you are choosing to do this rather than have your child in your life. I don't care how old she is. Because my brother never got to grow up. So my parents, my father and my mother, never got to have an adult son. Because he was taken, because somebody was selfish and didn't care what they were doing with an F-350 pickup. And what you are doing is selfish, and you know it, that you know what you're doing is selfish. You know it is taking away from your children. You know it's harming your wife. You stated that she is also a recovering addict. Have you thought about what you're doing, making her relapse, and then your children don't have any stable parents whatsoever? Because you are not stable right now, and I don't say that to hurt you. I say that in understanding as a parent who has been through times when I was not stable. And luckily, my son has a wonderful father who is there to actually support that when I went through some hard times. So he was not without a stable parent. But when he was with me, I was always stable, and I made sure of that. As hard as it was, as difficult as it was, there was one time it was so stressful being away from my son, I went bald on the top of my head. I literally lost my hair as a woman. And I'm a woman who has PCOS, so I don't usually lose hair. I usually can't get rid of it. So like what you're doing, I don't understand how you can put your child aside, knowing there are parents out there begging for their children, and you couldn't care less because you have selfish whims, because you feel like something on the inside. I'm sorry, but there are certain times when you just have to man up as a parent or woman up as a parent. And that's it. You do what's hard for your kids. Every single time you do what's hard for your kids. And what you are doing is nothing but abuse. 100%, especially to your 7-year-old. I'm glad your 21-year-old is not around you right now, because you are not safe to be around. You're not safe for your wife or her staying in recovery and not becoming an active addict again. You're not safe for any of your children whatsoever. And for you to think that they should call you mother because of how you feel, because of your mental health struggles, is absolutely disgusting. You have the title of father, and that is an honor. It is an honor to be a father. It is an honor to be a mother. It is a blessing. And you are throwing it away. You're throwing it away for what? I'm asking you, what are you throwing your family away for? What are you throwing your kids away for?
I guess
my parents didn't get a choice. What? I don't understand. My parents didn't get a choice. And you're just like, screw my kids. Doesn't matter how they feel. It's all about me. Your child is 7. Your youngest is 7. And if you think a 21-year-old is all grown up and doesn't need their parents, they need their mom, they need their dad. And you are alive and you are well and you are able to get better. You are able to take care of your mental health. You have the resources and you obviously have the ability to do so. And I just don't understand. I cannot comprehend how you can do this to your children, how you can do this to your wife, how you can put her back in harm's way of becoming an active addict again. How you can sit there saying you are an addict and you can drink, knowing what that does to people with bipolar. And if you have any kind of therapist whatsoever, or the person that diagnosed you with bipolar, they would have told you right off the bat that you need to stay away from things that are depressants.
Yeah, they didn't know about that.
Everybody who has bipolar knows about that. Darling, if you're being diagnosed with it, you are seeing a
I
psychiatrist.
I didn't tell her that.
No, your psychiatrist that originally diagnosed you, are you self-diagnosing with bipolar, or did you see a psychiatrist?
I'm sorry, you said alcohol. I'm just letting you know I don't tell her that I drink alcohol.
I never said you tell her that you drink. For your mental health, it is bad. It is bad for people with bipolar to drink.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there drinking. So again, selfish. And if you think your wife doesn't know you're drinking and she's in the same house with you, you best think again. Because I'm in the comment section. I can hear you opening can after can after can of beer. If you think she can't hear that, you need to think again. I don't touch alcohol. I can be in a room filled with people drinking, and I will stand there with my ginger ale happily or my cranberry juice happily. Or a mix of that. I won't touch it because I know what it does to me. And then that affects the people around me in a negative way.
Not to mention taking it on the medications.
That's the other thing. Your medications won't work while you're drinking properly.
Yeah, I do know that.
So why are you drinking? Why are you doing more and more harm to yourself and the people around you? Why?
Tonight I just felt on the spot, and that was the only reason. And I just needed the courage to come on.
Do you think it's easy for me to sit up here right now and be saying this in front of 400 people?
No.
Right? But I'm up here because I'm thinking about your kids. And I'm thinking about your wife, and I'm thinking about what you're throwing away, and I just don't understand throwing it away. I just don't get it. How can you look at your precious daughter and say to her, you should call me mommy now? How could you do that to her? That wasn't for her, was it? That was for you.
Yeah.
That was to validate your feelings. That's not your daughter's job. She's not a part of your mental health plan. You would be a part of her mental health plan if she needed mental health care. She's not a part of yours. I'm sorry I've taken so much time, Christy. I know you have other people. I'll drop.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Molly. I'm going to wrap up because I think we got to move over to MV's live. Danielle, you want to say anything else before we end?
I just thank you, Christy, for hosting. Jamie, I appreciate you coming up. I know that it took a lot of courage because there has been a lot of people, there have been a lot of people talking